Hey guys, good morning. It's Nardi, and this is the Daily Espresso, short shots of big business ideas. We're coming live from Top Paddock in Richmond, in Melbourne. And guys, if you haven't been here, you don't know what you're missing. It's an absolute institution, and on most days you can't even get into this place. They very definitely oversubscribe. And there's a line out the door. So we're really fortunate. It's a cold, wet morning, and it's a Monday morning. So it's a perfect time to get in. We're going to talk about reputation, and we're going to talk about how that reflects directly into your brand. And Chris, we thought we'd throw it out with a question from you to start out.
There we go. Changing it up.
Yeah.
All right. So for
Question from Chris.
Yeah. So if I'm a business owner and I guess I've been in business for a couple of years, so I'm past the point of actually knowing what I'm doing. How can I build my brand? So how can I build my personal brand and personal reputation to really start to become known for something like the guys here at Top Paddock are? How do you do that? How do you go about starting that, Nardi?
Thanks for the question. Thanks for the question. Let's talk about what traditional businesses typically do when they start out, right? So the first thing they do is they call up their graphic designer, or they know someone who can use Photoshop or InDesign or whatever it might be, and they get them to, or they jump on 99 Designs and they say, okay, start my brand. They go through some concepts, they come up with a design, and of course, a lot of the time it's always overpacked and it's pretty hardcore, and then that becomes the brand of the business. And then what do? Not much after that, right? What I guess I want everyone to think about who's watching this is to think your brand is not your brand without your reputation. So your reputation dictates your brand. And so the next questions from that stems is, okay, well, how do you build your brand through your reputation? It's pretty simple. Let's take Top Paddock, for example, right? So Top Paddock here, and this is a perfect example, without me defacing their brand, is the most simplest and gentle and nice kind of branding ever, right? But you know what? It wouldn't matter if they had this brand or not. Everyone knows who Top Paddock is, and everyone knows that Top Paddock is synonymous with unbelievable service, with hotcakes, right? If you haven't tried the hotcakes, try the hotcakes. And they know that this place Top Paddock is just so friggin' amazing at what they do. And that reputation, that word on the street, if you like, is what has built the brand of this business. And then from that, they've stemmed and then they've built other businesses like Kettle Black, for example. Another almost institution, right? And the whole point of that is their brand has been voiced, right? Or their brand has been backed up by what they do and how they do it and all that they're about. And that stemmed and led to the reputation that they have out in the marketplace and through consumers. And then that's come through to the brand, right? So it's got nothing to do with the branding being so whiz-bang. When you're in a business like a cafe or restaurant, you're only as good as the last dish you put up, or your last coffee, or the service that's provided, or the feeling that you get when you walk in. And that's what constitutes an amazing brand. So that's that reputation that's built. So what I want everyone to think about is how, first of all, look at what you're doing at the moment and ask yourself the question, if you've got that reputation out there in the marketplace, are people shouting from the rooftops that they've just been to your establishment? Are they shouting to their friends that how awesome you are? Are they tagging you into social media posts? Are they taking pictures of things that you've just produced for them? If it's a product, right? Cafe, restaurant. Let's talk about, okay, have they taken a picture of the coffee they've had? Have they taken a picture of the hotcakes and just hashtag hotcakes over Instagram and plastered all over the place? If the answer is no, well then you need to start thinking about how you can start doing that, right? If your menu needs to shake up, or you need to go there. If you need to be presented a bit more, because we all eat with our eyes initially, well, you need to go there and work on that. If your chef needs to go, well, you might need to work on that too. So there's some key things that you need to look at and start at to help you build that reputation. Other big things are where you're located, what your business looks like from the outside, and what it feels like from the inside. If your team aren't on point, if they're looking slouchy and slack and don't really care about the business and what they're providing, what they're delivering, then, you know, they're all things that are going to destroy your reputation or hinder it from growing to where you want it to grow. So that's where you need to start looking. And once you've got that, you know, start small and escalate. Once you've got that in position, then just build from that, right? Chris, do you know why this other espresso just landed on our table?
I don't know.
I have no idea. We're sitting here with 3 espressos. I think it's because they actually care what we think about their espressos, and we're trying the single origin. Chris is going to Brazil, I'm going to Colombian, and I think they've come at us with a little Brazilian as well. I'm not. Yeah, that is good. That's different. Like, that's reputation. Okay, that's brand. I'm going to go and look at these guys and say, you know what? They care about what I think. They care that I'm only getting one coffee, but I want to know what the other one tastes like. All right. Now that in itself, without me asking, without me even alluding to it, they've sensed that. They say, okay, well, let's make sure that this person leaves saying that they will serve us, that this is the best place. You know, whether they come back or not, it's not about repeat business. It's now about reputation building. It's now about how I then shout this out from the rooftops to people I know, you know, and then, you know, people trust me and they'll take my word for it and then want to come out and you know, and see it for themselves. And that's what builds your reputation. So let's focus on that. If you are, brand's in motion and things are going really well, don't stop there, because your brand never ceases to grow. Your reputation never ceases to grow, and maintaining your brand is always a difficult thing to do if you just stay still and don't innovate and do anything different, right? So focus on that. Guys, this is the Daily Espresso, short shots of big business ideas, coming live from Top Paddock in Melbourne, enjoying the espressos, enjoying the coffee, enjoying the ambience, and privileged to be in this spot. Thanks guys, have an awesome day, see you tomorrow.